And welcome. This is Cannabis Talk A to Z with Frankie Boyer, and I call it an educational odyssey because for the past year and a half, that's what we've been doing, is becoming educated about this plant. I have learned so much, and I continue to learn every single day about the miraculous benefits that this plant offers. And so I really appreciate when we can get a doctor on that lectures and has been involved in this hemp world, if you will, and explaining to us why taking something like a CBD oil, which has absolutely there is no way you will get high from it because there's nothing in it there's no psychoactive ingredients. But people are still confused. People are still concerned. And so I'm always thrilled when we can have such a brilliant woman like our first guest today, actually both our guests, but our first guest. And it is a pleasure to have Dr. Shumi on, as she's an ND. She has been concerned about women and our health for a very long time. Her lectures on cannabidiol are so riveting and so impressive, and it's a pleasure to welcome you back. It's been a while since we've talked on the air.
Yeah, thanks for having me. What a lovely introduction. Thank you so much.
Let's begin by talking about something that we as Americans have been living with for decades, and I think more even recently affecting us more than ever, and that is stress, doctor.
Mm-hmm.
We are being forced to do more. Yeah, we're being forced to do more than we've ever done in this world, getting paid less, working harder, traveling, the traffic. I mean, it's just the heat. It's just all of the conditions. It's almost like a perfect storm where each and every one of us could explode at any time.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I think if you look at, data from, for example, there's a study that came out recently about anxiety from the American Psychological Association. And there was another study I looked at, it might have been a similar organization that looked at perceived stress levels. I mean, you are correct in that, across all cohorts, across all genders, across all socioeconomic status, all ethnic backgrounds, all age groups, everyone feels more stressed. Everyone identifies, or not everyone, but a large percentage of people identify as anxious more than in the past, related to all the things that you just mentioned. So it is something that I think is more on people's minds. I don't know if it's a state of our circumstances, if it's part of our own evolution in talking about our feelings with each other, that we're more able to identify these things. But I do think that more of us are walking around with the knowledge that we are stressed out in a bad way, that we feel anxious. And I certainly see it in my patients. I feel like the last year and a half that it's been acute. So more than ever, it's something that we need to help people learn how to manage.
When did you first start to have this conversation about, oh my gosh, maybe there is something out there that can help all of us in this world of CBDs?
It was about 2.5 years ago. I've been in practice as a naturopathic physician for about 17 years, and since 2011, I've also been a consultant in the natural products industry, so working with various companies in the medical advisor capacity, doing education, as you said in the intro. And some folks who are very dear friends in the industry and who I hold in very high regard mentioned to me about 2.5, 3 years ago that I really needed to check out cannabidiol and CBD. And my initial thought was,
right, yes,
I'm not doing cannabis. I'm not doing cannabis with my patients. That's not. I mean, it'd be easy for me to do it, right? I'm in California. It's very acceptable. I'm a women's health doctor. I specialize in bioidentical hormone balancing and functional digestive issues. And, why would I go down this controversial rabbit hole?
Sure.
But,
yeah.
and, sometimes relationships are the things that pull you in different directions in life, right? And these particular people, as I said, I valued their opinion so much, and I thought, all right, well, I'll start to look at these things. And as I started to dig into the research, I was just astounded at what was there. I mean, I kind of had an idea of what the research said about THC, which of course is the cannabinoid from cannabis that has psychoactive, intoxicating, euphoric effects, as well as some medical benefits. But I had no idea that there were all of these other cannabinoids, and that in particular CBD had so many potential health benefits associated with it. And so as I started to get very interested in the data, I started to, of course, as I do with any new ingredient, use it on myself and my little circle of family and friend guinea pigs, right? Everybody who's excited to try new things. And what I found it was amazing to me. I mean, people were telling me that they were sleeping better. People who had not slept well in years, sometimes in a decade or more, were sleeping well, that they felt that their ability to kind of move through the day and handle stress seemed to somehow be better, that their anxiety was less. And, these were things that kind of the light bulb went off for me, which was like, wow, if we could help people with those kinds of things, those very basic foundational things, getting a good night's rest, not going through the roof every time something stressful happens, but kind of managing it in stride, feeling, that feeling of anxiety and overwhelm come down, that, oh my goodness, I would be able to give my patients something that was so valuable, and that frankly, even with all of the many amazing things in my toolkit as a naturopathic doctor, I hadn't quite felt like I'd really tackled in a reliable, fast-acting way. And when I started to see the results in myself and my family and friends, I began to have that conversation with my patients who were very open to it, particularly when I educated them about CBD's lack of intoxicating effects and, assured them that they would not be walking around altered. And then what I've seen in my practice over the last 2 years has really been a game changer. Again, fast-acting, safe, reliable relief for people to really help them manage their stress. And so it's been a game changer for my practice.
I love this story. By the way, there is an upcoming, just got notice today from CV Sciences. You're doing it's called CBD for Your Health webinar series, and it's Wednesday. Everybody mark down your calendars, Wednesday, August 1st. And it is 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern time. And to register, go to, what's the best website? Should we send them to Plus CBD Oil or?
We should send them to
CV Sciences, whatever. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same email as you. What I would do is contact info@pluscbdoil.com, pluscbdoil.com, and just send them a link that you'd like to sign up for the webinar, and they will send you the link, which is a bunch of gobbledygook and not worth trying to repeat on the air.
Exactly. It isn't. And it's a free seminar, by the way. It's a free seminar.
It's free, and it's exactly what we're talking about right now. I mean, it's about stress and adrenal health and CBD, and looking at how the endocannabinoid system, which, by the way, is something that each and every one of you has, how that endocannabinoid system, one of its major roles is to help balance your stress response, and really kind of going through that and looking at the data. It's very useful. It will be very user-friendly and understandable for anyone, regardless of their level of education with this.
Yes, this is what we want. We want things that we can take and apply and put into our lives. When we come back from break, I want you to talk a little bit about adrenal health and what the ramifications are of not really taking care of our adrenals, our bodies, and what all this stress is doing. Sure. And so we'll come back in just a moment. And again, for more information about the CBD, you can go to pluscbdoil.com or go for more information, info@pluscbdoil.com. And we'll be right back. I'm Frankie Boyer. This is Cannabis Talk A to Z, an educational odyssey. We'll be back with Dr. Sumi in just a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Cannabis Talk A to Z with Frankie Boyer, an educational odyssey. And you understand now why I call it an educational odyssey. This is unlike most radio programs about cannabis, and only because I really want to educate all of us. And this is the journey that I have chosen. And so this is not about what strain you should use and when you should use it. And my program is really and truly basic. It's about understanding the miraculous benefits of this plant and how it can affect the economy, our lives, our health, and just a whole picture of who we are as individuals. And we're in the middle of this conversation, and we're talking about our adrenal health with Dr. Shumi, and she's an ND, and she's been in private practice for many years, and one of the top leading women's health NDs out there, and has always been a passionate advocate for us and getting us to understand the importance of taking good nutrients and eating properly, meditating, taking our fish oil, doctor. Those were the days. We still need to do all of that, but now there's one more supplement. And Dr. Earl Mindell was on a few weeks ago, doctor, and he said that just as we are familiar with the power of fish oil, and if we were on an island, of course, I always ask the question, what, from my doctors on my holistic health show, what would you take? And of course, vitamin C, vitamin E, and they go on, but the most powerful they love is the fish oil is really critical. He said that CBD, hemp-derived full-spectrum CBD oil, will be the next big thing to hit the supplement world, and that most Americans in another several years it will just be like I take my vitamin C every day, I'll be taking my CBD every day. And I hope he's right.
Yeah. I think he's right. I mean, I think in certain segments of the world, he's already right. I mean, the rise of CBD in this industry, in the supplement space, is just amazing. I mean, when I first started working with CBD, I would go to conferences and be with Plus CBD oil. We'd be the only ones there. The level of education of people, whether it was retailers or doctors or whatever type of show it was, that would come to talk to us, there was absolutely no education. We were starting with the basics on our own odyssey, by the way, a fantastic word for this topic.
Thank you.
And now, 2.5 years. Yeah.
It came to me in my meditation, so that's why I know it's golden.
Perfect, totally golden. But now 2.5 years later, I'll go to a show, and there's 7, 8, 9 cannabidiol companies at the show. The doctors or the retailers who come up to us, they know all, we've done our education job. I mean, it's fantastic, and now we're talking about completely different levels. So it's just caught like wildfire, and I expect that it will continue to do so. And I would definitely want it on a desert island with me, for sure.
Me too. The adrenals. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I mean, many people think that this is just a woman's issue, that it's just
goodness.
Women, but oh my gosh, please share with us, because this is an equal opportunity problem. Adrenal health is something that I know I don't talk enough about. So do enlighten us.
Yeah, so we all have two adrenal glands, male and female, all of us. 2 adrenal glands, they sit on top of our kidneys, and they are part of your endocrine system. And the adrenals do a lot of different things. They make a lot of different hormones. The ones that your listeners might be most familiar with is cortisol. which of course is kind of the predominant stress hormone. They also make precursors to our hormones. For example, DHEA is one your listeners might be familiar with. Important for blood pressure. I was listening to that little commercial in the break there about blood pressure. Aldosterone is an important fluid regulating hormone that's made by the adrenals. The adrenals also make a class of chemicals called catecholamines, which consist of things like epinephrine, also called adrenaline, and norepinephrine, noradrenaline. So the adrenals are incredibly important for a variety of issues, but absolutely crucial in regards to our stress response. And that's because the adrenals communicate directly with the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, which are both located in our brains. And the hypothalamus in particular is part of something called your limbic system. And your limbic system is responsible for your entire emotional life. So how you emotionally respond to things around you, all of the major drives and instincts, our ability to remember, our ability to forget, motivation and mood, this is all limbic system activity. And it's our limbic system which decides how we're going to respond to a perceived stress. If the body, perceives that there is an internal or an external stressor, which really only means something that we need to respond to, right, or adapt to. Stress doesn't have to be bad. Stress is part of being alive, and it just simply keeps our organism adapting and moving so that we can function. Our brain decides if it's something that we need to get excited about, that we need to actually mount a stress response to, and the hypothalamus talks to the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland talks to the adrenals, and in response, the adrenals make those stress hormones. So if we focus on cortisol, right, for example, or adrenaline. So cortisol and adrenaline, probably everybody knows how it feels like, when you see the cop car in your rearview mirror, or you hear that siren and you feel that response in your body. That physiologic response is preparing you to respond to stress, and that feeling that you have is a rise in chemicals, which from an evolutionary perspective was really important. When there was a saber-toothed tiger running down the field, right, your pupils dilated so you could see further. Your vessels dilated so you could get more blood into your periphery and more air into your lungs so you could have an intense physical bout to escape danger, right? All of your neurotransmitters, your serotonin, your dopamine, your norepinephrine, everything comes up so you're focused and alert and attentive, right? And that's all fantastic for a short term right? For a short amount of time. You've got all this glucose, blood sugar gets released so that you have all this fast energy. All this happens, and it's wonderful short term. The problem is, if that saber-toothed tiger never goes away, right? If you've got this chronic stress that's happening for you, all those same hormones that I just described are staying elevated for a prolonged, protracted amount of time. So now you've got lots of blood sugar, lots of insulin running around in your body. Now you have potentially, muscle wasting, as your amino acids get liberated and used for more energy. Now you're not digesting, you're not relaxing, you're not recovering, you're not growing new cells because you're focusing on your circulatory system, your ability to breathe. More inflammation is happening.
And we're almost out of time, and that's where CBD can help. And to
Absolutely.
And that's really one of the most exciting pieces to this conversation, is that there is actual relief. And the seminar is free. It's happening on Wednesday, August 1st, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to info@cbdoil.com. Always so wonderful, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Great speaking with you. Let's do it again soon. We can pick up right where we left off.
Absolutely. And we'll be back in a moment. This is Cannabis Talk A to Z, an educational odyssey with Frankie Boyer. And welcome back. It is Frankie Boyer. And this is Cannabis Talk A to Z, an educational odyssey. And I just wanted to share with all of you that my life is crazy right now and very, very stressful. And I think that I wanted to share a little bit about my own story and how this evolution for me came about. And so one of the things that happened was I kept hearing about CBD. I kept hearing about the benefits of cannabis, but I was very negative about it all. And the reason being is that I had very dear friends who were big pot users. And so my perception was not this is a helpful drug, but it was of a couple of stoners. And unfortunately, that really colored my perspective and perception in a very negative way. And so I really had terrible feelings about it. And when people would say, well, there's so many new studies, and it really was hard for me to hear any of it. It really was hard. So I understand. I get what a lot of people feel when they hear this conversation. And it was years ago when Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who I also had reservations about because I really didn't particularly care for a lot of what he was saying about many subjects. And I said, he's not really understanding a lot about holistic health and supplements and nutrients and all of that. Well, I saw something where he changed his mind about a supplement, and I was like so impressed. I think it was a fish oil, something on fish oil, and it changed his whole patient, and he saw the results, and I had a lot of respect for him. And then everyone said, you've got to watch Weed 1, which was on, at the time, CNN. And if you Google the Weeds 1, 2, 3, and the last one is Weed 4, they're online, so you can watch them for free. So when I saw that first documentary that he did on cannabis, I was absolutely shocked, stunned that, oh my gosh, this really has the potential to be a game changer. And it was showcasing young babies with epilepsy and little Charlotte. And of course now we have Charlotte's Web, which is a strain that some brothers put together in Colorado to help her. And we as a country started to get a glimpse into this world of cannabis. And it was really my opening. It was at that moment when I started to open my mind and my heart. And it just was it was so fabulous. It was so fabulous because I then understood what people were saying. It was like a part of my brain got shut off, and now it was opening up. And I watched Weed 2, and I got more excited, and I watched Weed 3. And then I had a wonderful experience, and it was a very dear friend who changed careers and got into the CBD world. And it was a major, major change for me. And he said, I said, you're leaving a really good job and moving your family. And I said, you really doing this? And he said, yeah, I really have to. And I said, okay, you do what you have to do. And I said, I'm supporting you because I really think you're probably right. I think this is going to be a huge field, and I think that we as Americans need to become educated. And so things shifted for me about 4 years ago. Big shifts changed. And then as someone who does a radio show on holistic living, I felt it was really important for me to look at what benefits this had for health. And then I realized I was doing a disservice by not mentioning it, by not talking about it. And so today I have been fully immersed into the educational piece of this conversation. And becoming educated is the key. It's the only way we as Americans are going to understand anything. It's true. I mean, think about it. When you have no education, you have no resources. You're very limited in what you can find out when you don't have education. And so I call this an educational odyssey because it really is. And helping us understand this is our next guest, and I'm so thrilled to have her with us because she has been a chiropractor for so long, and for more than almost 20 years. She's a life coach, and what makes Dr. Erin Pollinger different than most people is that she is into understanding the physical and the financial freedom, because without the financial piece, the physical can be very difficult as well. And so, Doctor, welcome. It is so nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Frankie. Good morning.
So let me ask you, when did you first step into this arena with hemp?
Yes, well, I got involved with Prime My Body and hemp oil about 21 months ago. And it's quite an interesting story. I love my job as a chiropractor. I love being a life coach. I love supporting people feel more healthy and free and energized and vital in their bodies and their lives. And I turned 40 about 4 years ago. And it was just one of those moments when I looked at my life and said, you know what, as much as I love my life, I want more. I want to travel. I want to make money while I travel. I want to be of even higher level service. I want to touch more people. I really want to live an amazing life of freedom. I'm building a retreat center in Costa Rica. I wanted to be there more. I wanted to really have the money to send my daughter to whatever college she wanted to go to. She's now 18. And so I really just did some soul searching and praying, really, and just asking, how am I meant to live this type of life? How am I meant to be of higher level service and make an extraordinary amount of money so that I can really be free in the way that I wanted to? And so about, 2 years after that, 2.5 years, I got introduced to this company by two dear friends of mine who are chiropractors and knew that it was what I had been praying for. And it has been the most incredible 21 months of my life because of this oil and how it's helping people on a physical level, emotional level, mental level, and because of the financial prosperity that I and many that I've ushered in have received as well. So it's just really an extraordinary journey.
And so can you share with us a little bit about this educational piece that you will be speaking in anyone that listens to me? I know we're not being heard in Boston, but anyone that listens in Boston, the doctor will be coming up on August 7th at 7 o'clock at the Cambridge Courtyard Marriott at 777 Memorial Drive. A lot of sevens there, but August 7th, 7 p.m. And you have been doing these seminars and helping people understand that this is an opportunity to really unleash and get some money. And by the way, the first 25 people that register get free parking and 25% discount on the products, and that number is 1-800-838-1373. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the financial piece, the business opportunity that this holds at Prime My Body. And we'll be right back with the doctor. I'm Frankie Boyer. This is Cannabis Talk A to Z, an educational odyssey. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Frankie Boyer. This is Cannabis Talk A to Z, an educational odyssey. Dr. Erin Pollinger is with us. She's a chiropractor for almost 20 years and supporting people around physical and financial freedom. And she's building a retreat center in Costa Rica and is also the top female earner and a third top earner in Prime My Body. And her passion is helping people reclaim their most passionate, empowered, and extraordinary lives of freedom and service. And I love that. I love that statement. I just love it. So I want us to focus now on, because we've spent quite a bit of time talking about the extraordinary hemp oil, but I would love for you to talk about the financial piece, if you wouldn't mind, and share a little bit about how, if people listening can get involved.
Absolutely. Yeah. This truly is one of the most incredible opportunities on the planet right now because, as you've gone over, the endocannabinoid system, which controls the nervous system and the immune system and the endocrine system, right? It needs to be supported with these cannabinoids that this oil provides. It is critical for every human on the earth to be taking this oil if they want to experience optimal health and wellness. Experiencing more peace, more ease, less survival mode, more energy, sleeping better, better digestion, less discomfort in the body, greater mental clarity. I mean, I've not seen anything like this oil that has helped people on so many different levels. And so we've got the products, right? We've got the hemp oil. We've also got an amazing detox, also formulated by Dr. Christopher Shade, double PhD, world-renowned chemist, which is why our oil is the best on the market. You can Google him, research him. He is absolutely why we have the best of the best. And he also formulated the detox, which we have to detox. We're a toxic culture,
yes,
right?
We are.
A toxic world. Heavy metals, mold toxins, plastics, fungicides, herbicides. And the hemp oil and the detox go hand in hand because when we're in fight or flight, we can't detox. So we take the oil, it takes us from sympathetic overload into parasympathetic where the detox pathways open, and then we take the detox and we get the toxins out, pushes the toxins from the liver into the GI tract, and then the binder comes along, catches them, finds them, and then you eliminate them from the body. Revolutionary products that every single human really does need, Frankie. So the fact that we've got the products and then we marry those with a ground floor affiliate marketing opportunity is just an extraordinary opportunity. This company is service-based. It's an amazing community of people who want to be bigger, part of something bigger than themselves and do good things in the world. It's so easy to get involved. $39 gets you your affiliateship. $39. I don't know anywhere else in the cannabis industry that you can get involved for two $20 bills.
No, I don't either.
And then you buy, right, and then you buy products, and then you buy either hemp or detox or both, and you share it with your friends, right? Network marketing is just share economy. You watch a movie, you tell your friend. You eat at a good restaurant, you tell your friend, right? So why not have this oil that is going to beyond bless your life on all these levels, physical, emotional, mental. This oil wakes up the brain. It actually changes our brain and how our brain functions. And then share them with people that you love, and then why not get compensated, right? We have an incredible compensation plan. There's 4 ways to get paid, which I won't go into right now because there's not enough time, but, our CEO, Paul Rogers, is very generous. He pays 60 cents to the dollar. The level of prosperity that I've received from this company is so far beyond what I've been able to create through my practice or coaching, and I've been very successful in both.
And you've been doing this for just a short amount of time as well.
21
That's
months.
amazing.
21 months, and many of my dreams, big dreams, having the money to send my beautiful 18-year-old to college, being able to finish my project in Costa Rica, traveling the world now, supporting my team because we're about to expand into Japan, Canada, Mexico. This is a global hemp revolution. We are going to establish ourselves as the #1 brand of hemp oil across the globe. And then we've also, Frankie, which is really exciting, got a cryptocurrency coin on board. The white papers are almost done. The token sale will begin end of September. So this will fuel our company with the resources to open in about 20 countries over the next 2 years to really establish ourselves as the #1 brand of hemp oil. And again, because of our chemist, Dr. Christopher Shade, we've got it. We've got it. So again, marrying the best of this next booming industry that is cannabis, that is hemp, with ground floor affiliate marketing, new products coming online, international expansion, crypto coin. You know, we've just started. We just celebrated the year launch of our company, so we're a baby. We're just skimming the surface of the U.S. and again, soon to be opening around the globe. So really helping people with their health with these products, with this revolutionary oil and detox, and then with their wealth, right, with this amazing business opportunity. People need both. If you're suffering around money, you're going to be suffering in your body as well. So it's just, you know, beyond a blessing for me in my life and all those I've ushered in. It's fun, really, Frankie, is what it is. It's fun to build. It's fun to grow. It's fun to be on this journey with people that you love. And the level of support that we offer people who join is just unparalleled. We've got company calls. We've got upline support. We've got trainings. Your success is our success. We don't usher you in and then leave you to hang out to dry, right? We really want to hear why you're here. We want to hear what you want. And the beautiful thing about it is the more you take these products, the more awake your brain gets. Hemp is about getting healthy, not high, right? The more energy you'll feel in your body, less toxic you are, the more passion you have to take a step forward in the right direction to get where you want to be in your life. And that's what this company is about.
I can't believe we're almost out of time. By the way, if you're interested in coming to the Boston event and hearing this dynamic speaker, the doctor will be there on August 7th at 7 o'clock at the Cambridge Courtyard Marriott, 777 Memorial Drive. The first 25 people get free parking and 25% off the product. 1-800-838-1373. And what's the best website for people to find out and to reach out to you?
Yes, well, let's direct them to Mark's website. Well, you can go to primemybody.com, and then call the number that brings you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doctor. And we'll be back next time. This has been another edition of Cannabis Talk A to Z with Frankie Boyer. Thanks for listening. Make it a great day. And